Hello there, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for your monthly forecast for the month of May. Just want to go over some things really quick so that you guys know what we're looking at. First of all, this is not a comprehensive look at the whole month. What I am looking at is one theme that you're working on at some point during the month. I'm actually technically looking at one particular life cycle, and we all have several different life cycles that we go through. And usually they will tend to overlap. So you could have a life cycle in love, in work, in family. A life cycle basically just sets us up to either learn something or experience something. And as we learn that lesson or experience that experience, then as we incorporate that into our lives more fully, we come to the end of the life cycle or the fulfillment of the life cycle, and we get ready to graduate on to the next life cycle. So that's what I'm looking at here is a life cycle. I'm looking at the setup, the lesson or the experience, and then the fulfillment of the life cycle as you incorporate that lesson or experience. So, like I said, this is not comprehensive. This is not going to be giving you a heads up of all the major things that are happening for the month, but it will highlight one of the major themes for you. Okay, so let's get on with your monthly reading. Hello there, Taurus. Thank you for stopping by for your tarot monthly insight for the month of May. Okay, so the first thing that I'm looking at has to do with your environment. An environment can be any place that you have energy or effort invested. And what we have coming up shows me that your environment is actually something that makes you very happy. You feel like you can be very productive there. You can do the things that you want to do there. And yeah, just not, I don't feel like there's any interference coming in there. So a very positive, happy, helpful environment is what I see coming up for you, Tauruses. Now, subconscious leanings for this theme in the month of May. I do see that your subconscious is working on a theme around making your life into more of what you actually want it to be. That's kind of the subconscious work coming in that you're working towards. So I feel like there is probably, at a conscious level, there's probably an awareness that life isn't exactly as good as you had hoped it would be by this point. And so the subconscious is working on, okay, how can I make that something that is more, how can I make my life something that is more what I want it to be? The next thing that I'm looking at is your communication style and your learning style. We're going to start with learning style. Um, Looks to me like when you want to learn about a particular thing, you are able to really pinpoint, narrow down, focus, and find out about whatever that particular thing is very quickly. And you don't waste a lot of time on extraneous information. You find what you want to know and get with that information really quickly. Communication style, I do feel like you may be tending, especially in this life cycle, to sort of embellish things, to make things look better than they are, in the hopes that other people will agree with you or come on with you in whatever your ideas are that you want to move forward, if they think that they are a little bit better than what they are in reality. So a little bit of embellishment going on in your communication style for this life cycle. And then the next thing that we have coming up does talk to me about your work. For those of you who have not had a reading with me, what you need to know is I'm weird about work. Work can be that way that you make a living, but work can also just as easily come up when I read as those things that you're doing to improve your own character. I do feel like right now you have some choices when it comes to work. And for some of you, this will come in as how you make your money, how you make your living. And for some others of you, this will come in as character improvement. But there are some choices in your work, and those choices have to do with prioritizing and deciding what is the most important thing. Because if you don't prioritize and decide what's the most important, you're not going to have time to really move forward with anything because you'll be too scattered. So definitely making some choices here, pulling in the priorities and sticking with them is what I feel like for you guys. La da 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 da. So Taurus, that part of you that is being grown or expanded as you go through this particular life cycle in May, is that part of you that is that receptive feminine energy is really being strengthened. That energy that that sends the wish out to the universe and lets the universe do its part to bring it in. We all have feminine energy, we all have masculine energy. That masculine energy is do, do, do. That's the energy that goes out and does what needs to be done to make things happen. The feminine energy is the energy that relaxes in the fact that things will move in the time that they will move and that they will make their way towards you. So, two very different types of energy you can see. This is the feminine energy that's being strengthened in you. So for many of you Tauruses, I feel like you're going to be really strengthening any practices that you have to do with law of attraction or metaphysical ways of bringing things into you. That's not everybody, but for a lot of you, that specific example will be happening. Now, bum, ba-dum, bum. The next card that comes up does talk to me about those things that you stand for. It looks like Taurus, during this particular life cycle in May, you're feeling really in touch with yourself, with your goals, what you want to do before you kick the bucket, what you want to get accomplished, what you want to leave behind for others to benefit from, those types of things. And whenever we are in this place, it's really much easier for us to make decisions about what we want to do, where we want to work, who do we want to spend our time with, what do we want to be doing with our time, all of that stuff. And you're in that place of being very sure and very confident of what you want to do, where, why, with whom, how. And it feels to me like, Taurus, you have some people that are coming at you that are saying, well, you know, you don't have to do it that way. Why don't you do it like this? Or, you know, why don't you just take a break and go on vacation with us? Or take a break and come and hang out with us? Or do this or do that, whatever it is. And whatever it is that they're suggesting is not really getting you any closer to that, to those life purposes that you've identified. And so you're really standing up for yourself and saying, you know what? That used to be my bag, but I'm just not so into that anymore. And right now, that's just not what I want to do. Sorry. There it is. Okay. The next card that comes up does talk to me about how other people perceive you right now. And it looks to me like other people are seeing you as someone who's sort of stepping back from relationships with other people. So they kind of see you as isolating. I've got to tell you, I don't really feel like you are isolating as much as what they think you are. I feel like this is a misperception, but it does feel to me like you're getting centered. You're sort of getting your groove on. You're doing your thing. And I feel like maybe before what was going on is you were just kind of letting other people sort of take the lead about what you were doing and when you were doing it. Now you're kind of done with that. You are doing your thing when you want to do it. And so some of these people who are used to taking the lead and telling you what they think you should be doing, with them or without them, they're feeling you make some of these decisions for yourself, and they see it as you pulling back. It's not really you pulling back as much as it's you looking out for your own self. But anyway, that's the perspective that they have, is that you're kind of pulling back from relationship. Let's see, lesson or experience to be learned here. There is something going on with justice. So this just means that there's going to be something that is settled as those lesson or experience, and it is going to be settled in a fair way. Now, this could be a court situation. Doesn't have to be, though. This can be something going on at work. This can be something going on in the family. But there's something that you are being judged on, and that this will settle out, like I said, in a fair way. So if you've been operating above board and doing the things that you know you're supposed to do, you can pretty much relax that this settlement is going to be good for you. If, however, you've been trying to pull the wool over some people's eyes and do some things that maybe they weren't expecting or were not wanting you to do, or maybe would not have given you permission to do had they known, then you still can expect justice. You can expect it to be fair, but it may not work out so well for you if you've been operating below the board. And I feel like some of my Tauruses, you've got, most of them are above board, but a few of them we've got below the board. Now, as we incorporate this lesson or experience into the life cycle, what we have coming up is, for one thing, I'm going to start with the less happy news first and then work up. For one thing, I feel like you do get some kind of message that makes you feel a little bit depressed or let down. what I'm hearing is really this is a let down type of thing. So there's some kind of message that comes in that just, all right. And then also, there's been a situation where you've been feeling really stuck. I feel like that stuckness goes away whenever whoever makes this decision makes the decision. I feel like that feeling of being stuck, of not knowing how to handle the situation that you were feeling stuck in, is now gone. And I do also see that there is a situation that happened before all of this where something was taken away from you. And maybe this was why the Justice card came up. Maybe this decision has to do with whatever it was that was taken away from you. And this was something that made you feel very secure in the manifest world. I see you really recovering from that loss. I see you going out and finding new opportunities of things that can replace whatever it was that was taken from you, so that you can replace what was lost, but the opportunities are even better than what you used to have. So I see this really as a move forward that is coming in for you, Taurus. So that is your insight for the month. I do appreciate all of you hanging out, liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. Of course, this was a general reading, so not everything is going to apply to every single Taurus who watches. Hopefully, most of it will apply to most of you. That is the goal here. Everybody have a fantastic month, and I will see you all back here the next time. Peace out.